Hey everyone, Anand here. Welcome back. I hope you liked my last video where we talked about CAGR or compounded annual growth rate. If you haven't watched that video, you can watch it here. In that video, we saw that if we want to calculate how a company's revenue, net income, or any other financial metric has grown over time, we use the CAGR formula to find the compounded annual growth rate. Similarly, when a lump sum investment grows, we can calculate the compounded return using CAGR. However, in the real world, we rarely make lump sum investments. Our investments are spread out over months and even years across many stocks, ETFs, and other asset classes. So, how do we calculate our returns in such cases? In this video, I will show you how to do just that. So let's get started. Consider a scenario where we buy a stock in different stages. On January 15th, 2024, let's imagine we invested $10,000. In March, we again invested another $5,000, and we continue making more investments throughout the year. Now, imagine the value of our portfolio on December 31st, 2024 is $25,000. If I ask you to calculate the return you have made on these investments, how would you do it? Is CAGR going to help you? Obviously not, because CAGR doesn't account for multiple investments made at different times. As you can see, there are multiple investments made over the 11.5 months. So we can't just take the initial amount and the final amount and ignore all the other investments we made. Also, it's easy to notice that each individual investment had a different amount of time to work for us. For example, the first investment worked for almost 11.5 months, but the rest got less time to show their magic. If you want to know your exact return considering all these buys and sells, that's where XIRR comes in. Now, how do we do the calculation? Here, I'm going to use Google Sheets and its built-in XIRR formula. As you can see, I have listed all the transactions in this Google Sheet along with the dates of the transactions. When we buy a stock, it's an outflow of money, so it's listed as a negative number. Likewise, when we sell a stock, it's an inflow of money, so it's listed as a positive number. To calculate the XIRR, all you have to do is to use the XIRR function. First, select all the cash flows as the first parameter, then select all the dates as the second parameter, and boom, you get your exact return right there. Please note that the order in which you list these transactions doesn't really matter. Just make sure to list them accurately. Let's look at another example where we made monthly investments into an ETF for 15 months and we want to see our returns. As you might have guessed, we are talking about SIP or Systematic Investment Plan. SIP is a method of investing where we continue to invest a fixed amount of money at predefined regular intervals. We can calculate the return of a SIP also using XIRR in the same way, using Google Sheets. Now let's make it even more realistic. When we start investing, we might have a beginning portfolio value. Consider your portfolio's values at the beginning of the year and all the trades made throughout the year. How do you now calculate your return for the year in this case? It's simple. Enter the beginning amount as a negative value as if you bought that much in stocks at the start, making it an outflow. The rest is the same. Use the XIRR function to calculate your return. After these examples, I think we are now in a position to define XIRR. XIRR stands for Extended Internal Rate of Return. It calculates the annual rate of return for a series of cash flows made at different times. This is super useful because unlike CAGR, XIRR takes into account the exact dates of your investments and withdrawals. Think of XIRR as a super calculator for your investments. It takes into account all the money you invested, when you invested it, and when you took money out, like selling stocks. With this magic, XIRR gives you a single accurate percentage that reflects your overall return. But here is the shocker. Many investors don't know about XIRR. They might be using basic calculations and missing the bigger picture. It's like not being able to see your true reflection in the mirror. XIRR helps you see your performance more clearly, especially when you buy and sell throughout your investment journey. And as value investors, we would like to know how we are doing so we can learn from our own mistakes and improve our success rate. As far as I am concerned, when I started learning about value investing, I always wondered how I would calculate my performance, especially with trades over time. It was really a dark picture for me until I met my friend named XIRR. Please comment below and let me know if you already knew about XIRR. While it's very useful to calculate your portfolio returns and measure your performance, I want to add a word of caution here. Many investors, especially beginners, can take XIRR to extremes and focus too much on short-term performance. They might check their returns every quarter and even daily or monthly, which can be misleading. Remember, we are value investors. We are buying businesses, not just ticker symbols. Businesses need time to grow, improve earnings, and generate cash flow. So looking at returns over a few months or even a few years might not tell the whole story. And therefore, I am not a fan of quarterly checkups, but an annual review is good. And even if your investments aren't superstars for a year or two, that's okay, as long as the bigger picture over 5+ years looks healthy. XIRR can help you see the bigger picture. So what do you think? How often do you measure your returns? Comment below and let me know. That wraps up this video. I hope you found it informative. Feel free to leave any questions you have in the comments section below. And if you would like to be part of my journey to learn, invest and learn, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.